Thank you so much for tuning in to this segment of Black Spring with Autumn. I'm only going to be here for just a few minutes. I'm probably going to come back. The goal is to come back later. It may be later this evening, but I've wanted to talk about a few things. And we've kind of had a little bit of an echo chamber before. We've talked about the jobs report, the lack of job reports, the delays in job reports. We're also, there's a liner out of Zero Hedge, and we want to talk about how 1 in 4 unemployed Americans actually hold, degrees. So I think we'll talk about that a little bit. I mean, I'm going to be honest. After looking at that particular article, there's no silver bullet, or there's no, there's not exactly a smoking gun in there for whether you're a new college graduate or you are looking for a job. Just good morning, realize. Thank you so much for coming in. I really appreciate it. Hope you're well too. Um, but there's really not a smoking gun for anyone that's a new graduate. Um, I've heard all the things about the resume rebuilds, the oh, do your resume like this, do your resume like that. I mean, the frustration. They'll probably tell you, the dialectic will tell you that there is no problem, there is no crisis, there is no challenge in the workforce with new graduates, but there is, and there has been for some time. And I'm not even going to say within the last 10 years. I'd say it probably goes back even further than that, because the more people gravitated towards these AI programs. Good morning, Marcy. Welcome in. Welcome in. The more that they want to see, everything's gonna be dumped on AI. Everything, oh, bureaucracy. We just want to clean things up. We don't want to shut things down. We just want to clean up everything in the name of AI. And so AI is going to get the brunt of most of the deception, whether it comes to economy, whatever it is. But I'm saying there is no smoking gun for, to me, landing a job. They used to say network. They used to say, oh, and people say, well, I've applied for hundreds and thousands of jobs and I'm not getting anywhere. Oh, well, did you use the keywords that are in the job description? Most of the companies have resorted to, filtering those job, filtering those jobs with keywords, and that's what you have to pass. You have to pass the AI god before you can get to a human being, which is really kind of sick, kind of twisted. It's kind of like where everything else is going. Um, realize says yes. They said it. It is like a new format of doing your resumes. But see, to me, I don't. It doesn't really matter what industry. A lot of people get frustrated with the job market and they go out and they just find something to do, whether it's a McDonald's or whether even these Starbucks. A lot of these people are laying off. Starbucks is laying off. You've got you're not going to be able to keep going out getting jobs just to kind of, I mean, for self esteem. Um, you still want to feel like you have some type of ownership of what you're doing, of your place, your activity, but there is no smoking gun, there is no silver bullet. um I just think it's just going to be, I'm saying there was already an issue. Here again, it's a dialectic in itself. The whole job market, the whole economy, they bring all this AI and all the technology in, and then they start blaming the technology for taking up, maybe some of these entry level jobs. Um, then they're citing, of course, people that saddle for the debt. They're not getting responses. Oh, they worked hard for 4 years. Blah 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 blah. I mean, we all know that, but see, to me, there again, it kind of goes back to the big lie. Like, most of the things that the bill of goods we've been sold, including the American dream, has cost the common man much more than he or she ever budgeted for. You might not have ever had that money. Most people don't have the money to go to college, even when their parents are paying for a portion of it. They just don't. You don't know. It's even for retirement. You just don't have that pot of money, a pot of cash, unless you're independently wealthy. You don't just have money sitting around to go to college. If you don't get that full scholarship, I'm telling you, it's not. Let's see. Marcy says, blame, blame, blame. This is a blame game. Yes, that's, to me, that's all they're going to do. AI will be all occasion devil and demon for everything. And you got to get past, it's kind of twisted the way that AI will be inserting it into everything. That will be your barrier. Your barrier will be the AI. It will be these computers, because you're not going to get past, your application goes to the dog pile, a dog pile of applications that a human being will not see. That's why they had, you had that, the monsters, the Indeeds, all of these engines. Um, and the application process, the screens, the amount of screens that you have to go through in itself is a job in itself. So then that came out of Zero Hedge. I might get into that a little bit more in depth later, but I'm just not really. And then they say, oh, well, a lot of these younger students, they can't communicate. They don't know how to sell themselves. Well, look, AI is being sold. Nobody. Marcia G says, but the point is they created AI to blame, and how come normal people can't, but these two other together, put these two together. I got you. Let's see, let me go back to realize says, I really think there are not enough jobs for the amount of students graduating coming out of school. They are lying about the unemployment numbers and jobs created. Absolutely. Absolutely. I do think that there's that it's all manipulated. We can't trust any of these numbers. We don't know what the numbers are. They withheld the report in the name of claiming, blaming the shutdown and all this stuff. But then even now, you still don't. Like at least 2 or 3 months of job reports were delayed. And then to me, the way they manipulate the interest rates for the Fed chair and all these people, who can trust anything that comes out? Will we ever have a real picture, a big picture of what's really going on? Probably not. um, I think a lot of our industries, our institutions are dying out. And what do you know? There's already a solution in place, the AI. So some of these are these articles, whether they zoom in the current state of play, it's just all it's a nothing burger. It's like, well, what did you share that was insightful in this? You share, we have perspectives. We all have real-time perspective, but where's the silver bullet for the common man? It's our problem to deal with the workforce, to deal with the challenges, to deal with what we can what we're going to be able to afford, what our futures are. I mean, and we've been trained to bargain with the future with little, or with the means and the in their hands the entire time. Marcy T says, these globalist, elitist, transhumanists have built this so they can blame somebody and not themselves, yes, and appear to be altruistic. Shaking my head. Thank you guys for coming in and loving on the like button. She says, and why are they taking price tags off of everything? It's due to your social credit score. You'll be paid up charges if your credit score is low. Yes, I think I saw something where somebody was in Walmart and they said that it was just this code on things and no price. So I've yet to encounter that. But I appreciate you guys so much for coming in. We'll dig into this a bit more. I've seen a ton of social media posts, but then for Zero Hedge to create this, they're talking about what the difference in the job availability, or the difference in the numbers from August to September, which is typically, I guess, where they see the biggest gains, or they get the most data, I guess, in the reports from September. But they said there was very little change from August to September when it came to the college graduates. So I don't know. To me, um, I don't know. Like, and then it's saying that people are not prepared for the workforce. Well, you got to look at everything. It's from a holistic state of, point of view. Yeah, of course. Yeah. No one's ready. No one was prepared for this because it's not in our control. We're not in control. Why spend $100,000 on a degree when AI is going to do that job without any, that's not, and they won't have to give that AI a vacation, a lunch break, a paid time off, or 401k. No, you're not going to be able to compete. Who's going to be able to compete with that? It's enough to make people, it should give people pause in every industry and everything. But I got to get out of here, guys. I appreciate you guys so much for coming in and loving on the like button. And I will get back as soon as I can. Today might be another kind of long one. But it's kind of demonic in many ways. It kind of makes me think this is kind of a counterfeit. Some elements of our lives are becoming counterfeit because, well, as soon as they bring the AI in, you know, they're wanting you to be more like AI. And if you're not attractive to AI, then who are you? You see what I'm saying? It's got I will be back, guys. Marcy said you think you can say what's going to happen. That's over. Thank you so much, Marcy T Prayer Warrior, and Realize. And thank you guys so much for coming in. And I will be back as soon as I can. Hopefully later today. All right, guys. And I'll have some other things to share as well by the weekend. Hopefully by the weekend. All right, guys. Bye for now.